So, Pete, I don't know if there's, the truth to this. Now, in the last 5 years, I've been blessed to meet a lot of the coaches you coached with in high school and college, and a slew of the players that you had. And there were rumors that when you were the star kick returner in Scatback, that you had some fun with the cheerleaders in high school. Is there any truth to substance to that?
I think that anybody that can score touchdowns is going to have an inside track on a lot of cheerleaders. So, cheerleaders and touchdowns kind of go hand in hand in life. You know what I'm saying?
So you take the football under the lights, 80 yards in the clear, and then you jump in the stands and get your date with the next cheerleader. Is that...
That's the way it works. I think it still works that way.
Saints fans on Who Dat, they pinged me about 5 minutes before I was leaving. What do you think about us getting Cameron Meredith? Is he a difference maker? Is he solid? Or was it not a good move, do you think? Or whatever else?
He's got good height and he's got decent speed. So with a tall, rangy receiver, you always got a chance to get good yardage and good clearance from a receiver like that. But as far as game breaker, I mean, that's not the Saints type of play anyways, is to go for the bomb on a regular basis or fly down the sideline and go for big yardage. It's been more mid-range yardage, and he's going to help in that.
Well, as you know, last year it was our worst year since Sean Payton in third down conversion in the red zone. Is this the type of guy that will help us or not?
Yeah, he'll help you get those third down touchdowns in the corner.
Okay.
I think he's got good range there.
Okay.
Good height. I don't think he is. I mean, okay. He's a good receiver, but he's not a game breaker.
This is the Davenport conversation. How the hell did you find out about Davenport and us going? That type of information doesn't get out. How did you know we were one of the teams going after him the day of the draft?
My inside sources, which would be some of the coaching staff at UTSA, kind of let me know.
Did you know
there were
these?
A lot of teams that were hot after him because of his potential, and so the Saints happened to be continuously staying close, communicating. So
you can't tell the whole stories about him.
No,
okay.
Why should I? I mean,
yeah. Okay.
That's part of my.
Okay.
That's part of my benefit to be able to still talk to college coaches.
Okay. So his coaches, a bunch of them. The training programs that they had. You've seen game tape on him. Tell me what makes him. Do you think he's going to be special? If so, why? Is he a freak in any way? And how many years do you think before he really contributes to the team, if you think he's going to?
Well, he's another Von Miller.
No.
He's another Von Miller, but he's just not as polished yet. Once they polish him up, he'll have that strategic role, just like Von Miller does for Denver. And so, same type of player. I mean, he's got that quick step from the corner, from the end right there, and he'll get there quick. And so, the other benefit is he has no injuries. He's brand new, so you can play him all out right off the bat. So I would say that once he learns all the techniques and things of his role on the defense, you're going to having to end up using 2 people for him.
And then what are you going to do with All-Pro Cameron Jordan?
That's correct. I mean, so you put a lot of pressure on that defense. But it's a move that a lot of teams want to do now. I mean, it's not just Denver that does it. I mean, everybody knows now. It's almost going to have to be a specialized position just to get a pass rush and a head run on that quarterback.
Really?
That you have to deal with, that you have to plan for as an offensive coordinator.
So you don't think giving up 2 very late first-round draft choices let me do that again. So we gave 2 late, it's going to be 2 late first-round draft choices for him. Is this going to start to be a trend for these potential superstar defensive ends?
Well, speed kills. Speed and quickness kill on that defensive end part of it, or when you line up in that role as a pass rusher. So, I mean, what more strategic pressure can you do when you have a speed rusher coming in? That's gonna have to be dealt with.
Is he really that fast and that quick?
He's quick enough to do the job. I'm telling you that right now.
I know you don't use
There's
words.
only maybe 3 other people that can do that in NFL that quick, like Von Miller.
Get out of here. This guy is one of 3 or 4 who has that freak ability, athletic ability.
That quick move to get in there.
Wow. Okay.
So,
thank you. For
getting clocked on the track.
at high school.
Yeah, I mean at a 40 time at 4.45, but that's at 165 pounds. So I was a flyer at 165
4.45. Okay, so when you got into the open field on a kick or punt return, and you knew there was nobody catching you, tell me about the adrenaline rush. It was. Is there anything like it?
Well, at my best, it is a joy at any level to explode out in the open field and just get across the goal line. That's a thrill that you never ever get tired of. But after about 20 times of doing it, at lower levels of play, you look for that thrill to occur and the adrenaline to stay high. So you got to finish it off with some flash. I wasn't conservative. I was very flashy about having the enjoyment of being able to do that. So what I would do is when I'd be back for a punt return or a kickoff return, I already had in my mind, if this thing breaks open for me, which is my goal, then I'm going to have some fun at the end.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay. Yeah, your friends that knew you.
Yeah, and I kind of did celebrating before celebrating was cool. before it was popular.
Well, you
got me in trouble.
Were you celebrating so much that Roger Goodell would not allow you to do it anymore these days?
Let's say that if we were dealing in dollars at the time, then I would have been broke. Anyways.
So the no fun league would have penalized you a few times, huh? Okay, cool. And it sounded like it wasn't a big secret for those in the industry that this guy really is flat out mean, not just on the field, that he is in the locker room. And it has some impact on other players and coaches. Could you kind of share a little bit about, he is a superstar. Can you share a little bit about the problems that his personality brings to a team?
Well, when you have a guy with that type of temperament, he is dangerous to the opposing team. He is dangerous to his teammates, and he is dangerous to his coaches, because you've got to be on top of your psychological game to be able to control and deal a person like that, to be able to coach. I mean, players like that usually peak out at 2 years with a team if you're going to get the best out of them before internal turmoil takes over.
Can they really disrupt a locker room because of an attitude?
Short-tempered guys, they are what they are.
Uh-huh.
they're edgy.
The hotheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're great when they're great,
And
they're bad when they're bad. I mean, you've had several in the NFL that have caused havoc, but are great players for a short period of time.
But Sue's like 8 feet 11 inches. He runs at 3.240. I mean, I'm having fun with that. But Sue is an absolute freak athlete, and a monstrous scare. So when he gets really pissed in a locker room at other players or coaches, that doesn't sound like that's going to be the yay brother. We're a good team together, huh?
Well, I mean, look at it this way: who's going to be in charge of keeping him? How should I say? Keeping him level-headed, and who's going to take care of that on the team? So when he tackles a quarterback and slams his head into the turf because he's finally got frustrated and he finally got to him, and he loses 3 games suspension, who suffers for that?
The whole team, everybody, the fan base, the coaches.
So let's say that he's hot and he's got 4 or 5 sacks going on, and then all of a sudden he cheap shots an offensive tackle. Takes his helmet off and hits him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you got another 3-game suspension. I mean, how often is the great play worth the great suspensions?
Mm-hmm.
And then who's going to tell him to stop? Is that going to be your team captain? And does your team captain have enough respect from a person that's only known him for a year?
What happens if your team captain is 5'11"? He tries to talk to Sue. You say it's like Charles Haley.
It's like Charles Haley. If you remember, he had trouble in San Francisco, and then they were having trouble in the locker room with his temper, and the coaches were having trouble with his temper, and then the Cowboys took him. And, even though the Cowboys controlled him, they had to really do their due diligence in the psychological game and all so forth to keep all that under control, because people were scared of him inside the locker room as well. So I mean, those are known type of players that you get. If you're going to take the chance, get the best 2 years you can out of them, because something's going to go awry in the locker room sooner or later.
So do you think that we have a legitimate chance at going deep in the playoffs in the Super Bowl this year?
You're dangerous.
Why?
The Saints are dangerous because you have an uncanny confidence to pull out games when you really shouldn't even be in the game, just from your persona. That's something that's created, that maybe Coach Sean has done in creating that. Never count us out type of attitude. And so I told you last year that the Saints are one of the teams I wouldn't want to play against at any given time, because
I thought you would tell me that to be nice. You were being serious.
At any given time, when Breeze is hot and the defense is holding, you can beat anybody. You could have beat anybody last year.